Thank you guys for coming back and learning new things. Today's focus is around the app and the website. And we have to set up the website first before you can get the app to work. So that's a lot of what we're going to focus on today to get you guys all up and running. All right, good. We're up to 21 people on the call. I'm sure more will come in as we go. So thank you guys for being here. And our focus, as I stated, is all around the website, making sure we get that set up today. So this is an example of my KW website. And I'm really excited about today's class because I think it's the future, right? It's really, everything we've been working at for Keller Williams really comes down to the website and the KW app, meaning these two products are the real estate experience of the future for the consumer. And there's some cool things that our websites can do. We'll show you ways to customize yours to add more content. The biggest power is the fact that these apps have the ability to search by neighborhoods and landmarks now. It allows a consumer on our app today to find a home if they want, collaborate with their friends and family and a co-buyer on anything using the app. It allows them to actually shop for home insurance and shop for a mortgage as well, thanks to Keller Covered and Keller Mortgage, and actually transact the transaction through our buyer guides and seller guides. So this truly is the real estate experience of the future that we've been planning for. So to get us started today, we're going to come into Command, and the big thing we want to focus on is all around what we now call consumer. So you've been through a lot of the different tabs here inside of Command, and our class today is all around the consumer tab, which includes the website. It includes the settings for your KW app and everything that we would use that's related to, in essence, a consumer. Now, this used to be called sites. So if you ever watched any of my old videos, you'll notice the icon stayed the same. It used to be called sites, S-I-T-E-S. Now it's called consumer. The icon and the instructions are the same, but just want to make sure I pointed that out, that if you remember it as being called sites, that's what it really means, is consumer now. So when we're in the consumer tab, our focus is mainly around the agent site pages, and then we're going to do the site and app settings to set up the website. Now, I clicked on agent site pages, and if yours is blank, don't panic, you're in the right spot. So under consumer and agent site pages, our goal is this is the sites and the pages I have on my website today. So I've been doing this longer, and I have a lot more website and pages on my website, I should say. So don't feel like you have to have everything I have right now. It's okay if it's blank. What we're going to be doing together is this configure your site. So the neat thing is the setup of the website's fairly simple. We're going to have a configure your site option of the website, which is a Kelly guide and a wizard. And then we're going to do the same Kelly guide wizard, but this time for the app. And the reason I do it in this order is if you've never set up your website, you have to set up your website first before you can set up your app. If you skip it and try to go directly to the app, it won't work. And the reason is because the app and the website are actually the same product. They're the same thing. So if you've been with Keller Williams for a few years like I have, we used to have so many different products, and I had a Playster site at one point. I still have an eEdge website, and those things don't talk to the app. And then I had an app, and the app would do some things, but it didn't do everything. And then if my client was on my website, they would do a search there. It didn't talk to the app. They did something on the app. It didn't talk to the website. And then we set up things on the MLS and everything we did. And it was such a disconnected consumer experience. The fact that the website and the app are tied together means now the consumer can do more. And I'll go in a little bit deeper today and show you, I'm testing this out as a consumer and show you what happens when I log in as a consumer on both the website and my app. So to get started with this, we're actually going to come to agent site pages here, and we're going to click on the configure your site button in the lower left-hand corner. This is going to take us to a guide that says before you begin, and it asks you what provider do you want to use. We are only focusing on the first option. Don't worry about Playster. Don't worry about the other options. We're only talking about the KW agent site, and that's the one you're going to want to select. And then you're going to hit submit. This is going to take you to what we call a Kelly guide. Think of it as a wizard to take you through setting up a website. The neat thing is it actually does it fairly simple, and it's not hard to set up this website today. So it's going to make us do step one, which is choose what we call a subdomain or the web address. Then it's going to make us do some stuff with our styling and theme, which mainly is around images on our home screen. And then it's going to help us create 3 simple web pages, and then we're done. So it's really a 1, 2, 3 step process. So we're going to go to Kelly Guides and do the getting started. Now, this is going to give you a reminder for compliance. So I know I'm teaching this mainly for my 3 offices right now in Fort Lauderdale, Coral Springs, and Aventura. So in Florida, I'll make sure you're compliant. However, if you're watching in another state, I'm not a broker and I can't answer what your state laws are. So that's why this warning comes up. It's just to make sure, do you have the appropriate logo that you need for your office? Do you have the ownership statements that are required for your area? And are you compliant with whatever your state and local board laws are for your website? Now, it also has a link right here. So while we're going through this, if you do not have the link to your Market Center logos for any reason, you can actually click this here. I'll click on it. It opens up a new web page. So command's still here, but this would let me go into our style guide for logos, and you can find your Market Center logos right here by typing in the name. So my new Market Center is going to be 99, and I will see Sonoran Living is right there. Or if I'm with my Market Center in Fort Lauderdale, where my license is, my logos will be available here. So if you need your Market Center logo, use that link, and you might want to bookmark this so that you have it for the future. And it basically is just telling you, look, Keller Williams International is not responsible if you don't verify your websites are compliant. So that's really all this message is stating. So all we have to do is say acknowledge and continue. And this is the first step. So step 1 of this is going to simply be, hey, choose your subdomain and configure your profile. So what is a subdomain? You might have heard the term domain or website. So the domain in this case is actually kw.com, which you don't own, Keller Williams does. So you're making a page on their website, which is called a subdomain. So for me, I made it match my website name. So it used to be JTeamFL, and now that I am relocating to another area, it is now JTeam Global. So you can change this to be your name, your team name. I like the fact that it matches whatever my web address is. So I own jteamglobal.com, and it's going to let me put jteamglobal here, .kw.com. So just make sure this part matches whatever your web domain is. So I also have jcermak.com. If I was using that as a real estate agent that's an individual, I can put Jay Cermak and spell my name out right here so that it matches. And if you're changing it, you have to click the confirm domain button. Mine's already set, so I don't have to confirm it because I already have it. Now, this is going to bring a lot of you to ask me, okay, then how do I get this to work with my website for marketing pieces? Because the reality is I'm not giving the public go to jteamglobal.kw.com because they're never going to remember the .kw part. However, you're going to buy your own web address. So if you need to buy your own one, I recommend Google Domains is my recommended place that you purchase a web address from. It is inexpensive. It's $12 for the year to own your own name. So I already own one, but this is the one I recommend if you don't have a web address. And it could be anything like JSL's Florida, Jay Cermak Realtor. It could be the J Team, whatever you want your branding to be. You can buy what we call a website name. You just need the name. You don't need them to host it or do any extra bells and whistles, just the name itself. There's also a lot of you who probably already have a GoDaddy address. Now, I can't go through teaching you how to do GoDaddy today, but I will mention I've already done a video on this. So if you have the web address for command that we're creating today, and you want to be able to update GoDaddy with the settings, I made a video on how to forward your website on GoDaddy. So this is just a video that you can use. If you had Playster, you have to delete some old settings, but this just allows you to forward the web address we're putting in here to whatever website you want. So my example I'll show you is technically it says jteamglobal.kw.com right here. But watch what happens if I just type jteamglobal.com, gotta spell it right. It goes directly to that site. So the public is just gonna put in jteamglobal.com, and when they hit enter and go to that website, see, it automatically just takes you to my website. So on postcards, I'm just putting jteam.com. No one's gonna notice that it switched over to .kw.com. So It really doesn't matter what the name is, but I recommend just make it match your website, because then nobody will notice that when you forward it over, it has the .kw in it. So this should just match your branding. All right, so that is step one, is the subdomain. The part two of step one is the marketing profile. Now, if you followed us in any of our other classes, we've been showing you to go to settings to get your marketing profile as well. That's where this information is coming from. However, if it's blank, that's okay. Everything with the red asterisk you have to type in. So I've already typed in my name, my information. Now my license is in the Fort Lauderdale office, so that's why it has it in here, which I'm actually going to correct this. Oh, no, it's locked. It's okay. So that's my market center in Fort Lauderdale, the address of my market center, and all that information came from the marketing profile. Now, team or business name. So I have the J team here. I could say the J team global, whatever I want it to be. And if you're not a team, you could still have a business name. So if I was just an individual agent, I might be Jay Cermak, realtor. And that would be the business name that I go by, or Jay Sells Florida. So even though it says the word team, you could put a business name here if you want, and that could be whatever you want to call yourself. Your job title, I like the term real estate consultant, but you can put realtor, you can put your certifications. There's no rules right now on what you put for your job title. It's just whatever you want the public to know that you do for a job. Your email address, and then your office number and mobile number. Notice it says excluding spaces or special characters. So don't add the dot or the dash, just type in the numbers as they are. The system will automatically format it with the right dashes and periods and everything. So just make sure they're in there. Now in Florida, the office number is not required. So you'll notice my office number and cell phone number match. So in Florida, for sure, we don't have to put our office number on the website. But in your state, if it's required, just check with your broker if you have to put it on there. And if it is, then you would put your actual broker or like the office phone number in this box. A small biography about who you are. So here is my little intro paragraph that I put together that explains a little bit about me. License number is not required, but if you're in a state that does require it, you would put it in. So Florida does not require my agent license number on anything right now, at least not on the website. So if you're in a state that does require it, put your license number there. Which brings us to compliance and legal footer. So I will show you my website today. And at the bottom of this website, it already has this disclaimer at the bottom, which is that Keller Williams is a franchise, equal opportunity employer, supports fair housing, and each office independently owned and operated. It also has the fair housing in here, so people can go to learn about fair housing. It also, at the bottom of the website, has the option for accessibility, and then DMCA and all the different legal disclosures that are required. So in Florida, this is more than enough. It has everything it needs down here. I don't have to put anything extra. However, some states require more things. So you can put a link to a certain website for a legal disclosure if you need to. You can also add an image at the bottom of your website for a legal footer image, which would put an image at the bottom of the site. So that just depends on the state. I know California and New York have very strict rules. Florida is a little more lax as far as the website goes. So if you have to use it, you can always come back when you need to, and that these options are here to add at the bottom of the footer any legal disclosures you need. Then it gets to your images. So I've got a square photo of me, a profile picture. I have a Market Center logo, and then I have a team header / logo. Now, I personally switched it back to a square / circle, mainly because the bottom of the website, let me get to it here, does this effect. My picture and a little circle of the logo. Kind of the only reason I added it that way, and then you see the logo everywhere. Plus, my logo now is about global, so if you look closely, it's meant to look like a globe. That's why I made it a circle, but it doesn't have to be. It could be a rectangle if you want it to be. So you just upload the logos that you need. And this is an example, by the way. Everybody asks me, Jay, why does it say Royals on my website? It doesn't. It's an example of if you put a logo, it's going to go to the right of your office logo. And then if you have the links to your social media, you would just put them in here. So I've got the link there. I got fix that one. That actually should be the link for Twitter, but this should be the link including the website, like HTTPS, if you want this to work. So that's what's required here. And then the link for your app would go right there. And again, you can always do that through the marketing profile as well. And you can come back later to do these if you don't have all the information. Just fill in what you have for now and we can fix the rest later. When I click save and continue, then we're now done with step one. And see, I knew there was an error message. Twitter is wrong. I have to delete that link. And let me go get the correct link for my Twitter profile. So I will go to Twitter really quick. This is a newer profile that I've added, and here we go. So I will go to my profile. There it is. Copy it, paste it right here. That's the best way to do it. Do the same thing for your Facebook page. And then at the bottom of this link, we're just gonna hit save and continue. There we go, congratulations. Step one is now done, which moves us from step one to step two. Now, step two gives you a false sense of themes. There is no red or dark theme. This originally just changed the KW in the upper left-hand corner from red to dark. That's all it did. But now that red KW is your office logo, so it ignores the theme. So nothing happens if you touch this. But the homepage text does, means what do you want to say above the search bar? So you can put anything you want. I like the default, which is find your dream home. I added the word anywhere. Find your dream home, you know, here I can put whatever I want, you know, find your dream home with Jay, or search for homes in Fort Lauderdale. I really can put whatever I want above the search bar. So you would just put it right here, and that will go above here. You can even do it as 2 sentences if you need to. So that's what shows on your website right above the search bar. Now, then we get to what's called a hero image. So your default images may or may not work for your area. Like this image is one of the default ones where it's this aerial shot. My challenge is right now I'm in Florida and I don't see any palm trees. So nobody's gonna believe that this is South Florida. So you're able to upload up to 5 of your own images. So these are some images I have uploaded. This one I made in Designs. It's hard to see here, but when I'm on my website, there's one of them. It does this collage effect. So that's what we call a hero image, meaning you get 5 images behind the search bar that will go in a rotation. And you can change them out if you want to. So that's one of the ones I've made. I've also made this one. And if I shrink this screen down a little bit, it will fit the window better. Let's try it this way. There we go. Just so you can see more of the image itself. Then I purchased some other ones, like I purchased this one from some companies. Shutterstock's who I used to use, but now I recommend to get stuff from Pixabay. So the Pixabay. It is, a lot of them are free. So you can find free photos of your area. However, I recommend you just go take your own. I added a photo of Scottsdale, Arizona. And then I had another preview of a collection of people living in lifestyles. So it's just your ability to showcase your homes, your neighborhoods you highlight, the types of homes that you sell, your local area, and customize your website. This is the biggest way to customize your site so it looks different than mine, is just to put the right images of what you need into those areas, and then that will be on the website. Now, we also did teach the other day in Designs. I'll just remind you that inside of Command, so agent.kb.com, and under Designs, we have the ability to create some social media graphics that would be for the website. So I'll go find one of the ones. Here we go. This is one of the agent site images, what we call that collage, a photo collage of pictures to use for a hero image. The neat thing is KW has added a lot more stock images that are free to use. So now I've got like house types in here. So maybe I want to switch one of these photos for a house type. So if I'm looking around for different images in the city or an area that I serve, I can now find one of the images I want and just click and drag it over into the images on the right. They've got some new ones for the types of homes. They've got some more lifestyle photos. I love these lifestyle ones, just showing people living, like who would want to live in an area? What are they doing in their home? You know, that to me is what people see as living in an area. So you can come in here and customize a widget like this save it to the computer, and then put it into the photo box here. That's what I did. And I have videos on that as well on YouTube. So just think about that. If you don't have the 5 images today, just use the ones that are there for now. Start thinking about what 5 images would you want. And if you don't want 5, you just want one really cool standing image every time people go to your site, you only have to put one in. You don't have to put all 5. So that is section 2, save and continue. Now the cool part is, yep, I'll leave that there. All right, now section 3 is not hard, but it actually has you thinking a little bit more. So section 3 is creating 3 web pages. Under navigation, we're gonna create a page that says about us or company profile. So that could be about Keller Williams, it could be about your team, it could be about your company. It's meant to be, in essence, about us. See how it says us right here. Then you're gonna create a web page that says about me. That one's a little bit easier. And then you're gonna create a page that says contact us if you have questions. So we're designing 3 web pages, nice and simple. Here's what I'll advise you to do. Go to my website, and if you like anything, copy and paste. My website is for you to use as an example. So jteamglobal.com, under my name on the right-hand side, I added a bunch of pages here. So clearly I have a lot of content, but let's say I just start with my normal company page is about the J team. And this is the page that I created that comes from this Kelly Guide layout. So step 1 is navigation. Step 2, what do you tell the search engine optimization? So this could be something simple like company profile. I might call this page the J team with Keller Williams. You know, you get to put the name you want for the page title. And then there's going to be an option for a description for SEO. If you're not quite ready for that, you can leave it blank for now. Ideally, what you want to start thinking about is what would the description be? And the best way to think about Google SEO is just to Google something. So if I went to Google and just typed in Fort Lauderdale real estate and did a search, this in blue is what's called the headline. So what is the name of the page will show up in blue. And then the description below is whatever's in right here. So these are things that will show up as the text results. So when it's asking you for SEO, what's the name of the page, and then what's the description, this is where those content items go. And you have to do that for all 3 pages. So then I'm gonna go to the content. Now this page is broken up into 5 major sections. Section 1 is this header with a picture, a little intro text, a section 1 header and text with a picture, section 2 picture and some text, a little footer, and then some description at the bottom. So it seems like a lot of content to think about, and that's why I say feel free to look at what I have, and if you want to copy and paste it, go for it. So this is what I usually have as the team name, and then I usually have a picture, and I'll shrink this down so it fits better, of a banner of the beach area. So notice as I'm stretching this out, that image changes size anyways. So you can replace it, because to me, this downtown image may not work in my area. So I can change the name of the page to the J team with Keller Williams. I can just call it the J team global. It's whatever you want to put there, and I have to spell it right, global. And then you can upload your own image. So I've got stock images and different pictures I can put in here, and I can replace this background with my own image. So that's something you're gonna wanna do. And as you can see from my example, that's what I did is I put a beach background, which now I'll have to change to show more of like a worldwide background, whatever you want it to be. Now here is my intro paragraph. So I'm gonna copy it and paste it over here. So that is the header and the image. Intro paragraph, this is what I wrote. Oops, wrong copy and paste. Let me try it again. Copy and C and paste. There we go. So this is what I had written myself, just looking at what people said they care about. When you look at the National Association of Realtors, there's a report every year about what they say is what's most important to a seller or buyer. And typically the seller says, I never heard from my client, they don't communicate with me, you know, or the agent. So that's kind of why I wrote this paragraph, right? Our philosophy is simple. The client comes first. We pledge to be in constant communication with our clients, keeping them fully informed throughout the entire buying and selling process. And we believe in providing an amazing experience. If you like it, just copy and paste it there. You can put a couple sentences, Marisol, inside the SEO description, but remember, Google only will show 2 sentences. So if you write a whole paragraph, Google is never going to see it. So Google is only going to show 2 sentences. So keep it short, keep it simple, maybe just your name, what you serve, the area you serve, something like that. All right, so that is my intro paragraph. My next section is section 1. So my section 1 was South Florida real estate. And that's my headline. So I can copy and paste it here. Copy, paste. And then I wrote out this paragraph about what I specialize in, right? Residential homes, waterfront condos, oceanfront. This is just an example. If you want to do something else here, like put the awards or what you stand for, it's your box to put whatever you want. But if you want some inspiration, that's what I ended up doing, is I used this to describe what area of real estate I serve in, and then what type of properties, and then what neighborhoods did I serve. So that's just the way that I did it for my own. Perfect. You got it. Okay, so coming back here, that's that section. And then I have an image that I could save if I want. Save image, LBTS. And then when I'm here in this Kelly guide, I come to upload image, and I just drag that picture here, and you're able to crop the image. So it needs to be a square, whatever it is. There we go. I put my South Florida, and I took a picture of the beach back when it was actually open, but you can't go to it right now. Then my next section, I love this. What about our belief system? I love putting the Y4C2Ts in my listing presentation and everything that I do, because I am a person that truly believes in this stuff. So I copy our beliefs, and I will put it here as headline number 2. And this one I actually just copied from KDB.com. So I copied the Y4C2Ts written out. There we go. And then I will copy the image, save image, W4C, something simple like that. Upload the image, and then I click, drag. This is one of the images I did Google, because Keller Williams isn't gonna sue me for using our belief system. But these kind of images, like houses and photos of an area, be careful stealing it from the internet. Make sure you have permission to use it. Then the last 2 things to do are the footer headline and the footer description. So on my website, what I did is I used a tagline. Putting you first always is one of the taglines I use. So I will put that here as the footer. And then I have a footer paragraph below that. And I basically copied the beginning part from KDB.com, which is that we are the largest real estate franchise by agent count. We have more than 1,000 offices. This all came from KDB.com. And then I wrote the last part, which is in my area in South Florida. We're actually the #1 real estate company brokerage from north in Martin County and then Palm Beach all the way down to Miami-Dade County. So nobody in Southeast Florida sells more real estate than us, and I wanted that on my website. So again, if you like this and you're in my area, copy and paste it. If you're in another area, just copy up until the United States part. And if you're #1 in your area, then just add your own little verbiage down below. And that's really it for the page. It's 4 major sections, right? A header, an intro, section 1, section 2, and then a footer tagline and a description below. And when I'm done, I just click the continue button. Page 2 is asking for about me. This time it's about Jay. So search engine optimization, I can just say about Jay Cermak with the J team or something like that. The J team. I can put a description if I want to. As we said, you can put one there. And then the content. Now, instead of about me, I like to say about Jay, real estate consultant at the J team. I can also say CEO and real estate consultant at the J team. A little about Jay paragraph, and then this came from my biography, but I can change it and add more text here if I want. And then instead of contact Jay, I usually say contact my team. So I'll say contact the J team. That is our office number and then my email address. So page 2 is pretty easy. The picture came from the beginning. We did the marketing profile, put all of our information in and hit continue. And then the last page is just contact us. So I can leave it with contact us. I can say contact the J team, put a description in if I want. My content is going to be pretty simple. Contact the J team. I personally like my intro paragraph I had under the About Me page. So I'm going to go copy this and then paste it here into this intro. There you go. Message hints, you can change it if you want, but it just gives them an idea of what to fill out. Phone number, email address, save and continue, and you guys just built a website. Now, here's the worry, error message people see and they freak out. This is an old message from last year. We haven't removed it yet. Your website's live now. The second you did this wizard, don't worry about the date of October 1st. It's live. As you can see, my website's working. So that's an old message from 2019. Just ignore it. And when you're done, you click the little X and your website is now set up. In the event you wanted to add more website pages, you can come to Agent Site Pages and then click on Create a New Site, and you can create as many pages as you want on your website. Now, I don't have time in today's course to go through all of the how-tos for that, but there's tons of content out there on what to build. And if you want ideas of what pages to do, again, go to my website, JTeam Global, and then just copy the pages that I've created. Since I'm talking about the fact that I am a global organization, I added a page about KW Worldwide. And this is actually just 2 pictures and a contact me form. Nothing fancy, but I want them to know that, look, like Keller Williams is international. And if I'm saying JTeam Global, I can connect you with an agent anywhere in any of these countries, right? We have referrals. So that's why I say, hey, the contact form says we are a global company, enter in information, and I will connect you with another top agent. So that's a page that you can create easily. I've also added a real estate blog, which I got from Homekeeper. So the best part about this is I didn't write any of this, and it all looks like it's branded to me. So this is a widget that's easy to do. Check out the video on YouTube I made for this. It's really a copy and paste, and you can add a blog to your website by copying and paste from the company of Homekeeper. So this just takes them to a Homekeeper article with my info on it. Looks like it's written by me, and they wrote it all. I didn't do anything for this. But I like the fact that my website looks like I have more content on it. So that's a cool widget you can do. I did a market for Save Money with Keller Mortgage. I'll show you that this was a harder one. So if you're going to do this one, this wasn't an easy one. It was a lot of copy and paste and some extra coding in it. But if you want one, I'll show you the video that I learned from on that one. Reviews. I have the ability to, free market analysis. Everyone asks me, like, where is the ability to get like a CMA? So I just made a contact us page and just changed the words to say free market analysis, right? Contact us to, you know, because most online estimates aren't accurate anyways. Give me your address down below and I say, tell us about your home address, number of bedrooms and baths. And this is really just a contact us for now until we come out with like a CMA tool. So I added that one. I added client testimonials. So these are what my clients have said for me. That's another page you can add. You can also capture them. So I have a review the JTeam page that lets people type in, who are you? Where did you buy a home from? And then how would you rate the JTeam and what would you say about us? And then this will go on my website as a new testimonial. I've also got the download my app, which we're going to create this page next easily. You're going to create this page, the landing page. Curious about what the homes are, here's my name, and then this will automatically have links for App Store and Google Play. So if you like any of these pages on my website, you can come and get these, and then I've got to delete these 3, they're just duplicates. All right, so we have the website set up. Now we have to get the app set up, and that would be the next section to look into. Yeah, that's okay, Justin. Just click the X in the upper right-hand corner. Don't worry about October 1st. That's from 2019. It's an old message. Because when we first launched this website, it wasn't live when we created that wizard. They just haven't gone in and fixed that wizard yet to exclude the October 1st date. It's live instantly. And you'll know it's live because now when you go to agent site pages, you're gonna see a link to your website right there. So that will be live and ready to go. Sorry, I keep clicking on that there. Perfect. Okay. So now we're gonna come up here to Sitemap Settings inside of the consumer site. And I'll show you while you're here under General, this is where you can come and change those 5 hero images. So you no longer have to go through that Kelly guide a second time to come in and update a new image here. So if I wanted to switch out the beach photo for more deserts, or maybe make all 5 images collages, which I might actually do because I do love the collage. I like it just because it showcases inside of a home, outside of a home, and people living in a home. And it just embodies everything about real estate instead of just the generic one image of an outside of house. So that's something under General you can do now. Now, one thing to point out, notice this is branded to me right now. If I ever came to my website and my picture and information was gone and it looked more like this, kw.com. If your site looks like this, very generic, and it doesn't look like you anymore, this is why. Use my site information or use my brand. If this is not green, then that means your branding was removed from your website and your website won't show your information. So it doesn't happen often, but if anybody ever comes across that and you say, oh my gosh, my website is blank, it's missing my pictures and my name and my photos, don't panic. Come to what we did, which is Consumer, Sitemap Settings, and just flip this switch to green. Now the next section we're gonna do is under the URLs, which is the actual app. So we're gonna go set up the app now, and we do that under Consumer, Sitemap Settings, and we're gonna click on Learn More with Kelly Guides. So we already did the website one, so we already did this one. Now we're gonna do the Kelly Guide for the consumer settings for the app, and this is actually a really fast one. There's no real building. It's just a fast, set up your app and make sure it's ready to go. So consumer settings, continue, and this is gonna take me to the client settings to set up this app. And it's just a couple steps. Some education, which we don't need because you're learning from me, some consumer settings, a guide builder, smart plan, and you're done. So it's fairly simple to get through all of these as well. It's under your name. What is the toggle's green and your app is not branding? Shonda, we haven't done the app yet. We've only done the website. We're going through the app now. So Margaret's asking, where did I go? So just to revisit, and if you aren't with me right now, don't panic. This is being recording, and come back later and go through the guide later if you can't do it right this second. So I went to consumer, which is where we were. I went to Sitemap Settings in the upper right-hand corner. In this Sitemap Settings button is right here, Learn More with the Kelly Guide. We have to set up the app. That's what we're activating right now. So when we click on this, we're gonna set up the app, and this will fix it for anybody whose app isn't working. So configure these settings. Are you sure you wanna leave? Yes, that's okay. And we're gonna go to the Kelly Guide to set up the app. Even though it says client settings, it's to set up your KW app. We click get started. Step 1 is education. Well, you don't need to learn about it because I'm teaching you right now. So we're just ready for, scroll to the bottom, click the next button. Step 2, consumer settings. This is very simple. You're gonna configure a landing page for people to go to download your app anywhere in the world. So they're just gonna come to the app download button, and you're gonna click the arrow. When you click the arrow, it's gonna say, great, what is the hero text? That's the only part that's required. So I would say download my app. And then this is the link for your app. So if you don't have it and you haven't saved it yet, you might wanna copy this somewhere. Just hit the copy button, and you can paste it and save it in your notes or a Word file or anywhere that you want, and you'll get this link later as well. But if you need it, this is the link to your app, and your app will be different than my app. So that link is unique to you. Your link will not look like mine. It'll be different. Perfect, that's it. That's all it needs. A hero text, which I said download my app, and then the link is already typed in. So all I have to do is hit save and continue. And that was step 2. Step 3, we're going to build a buyer and seller guide. This might take actually it's not hard to do, but you have to create 2 of these. We're going to create one guide for what happens if you buy a home, and then one guide for what happens when you sell a home. So you're going to come over to setup, and we're going to do these together. So setup is going to be, okay, great. Under setup, which guide do you want to build first? I usually build the buyer's guide, and then I build the seller's guide. So under buyer's guide, I'm going to come in here, and I'm able to configure it. So it doesn't show it very well, and I have to do a lot of scrolling, but if you scroll down, under step 3 in buyer's guide is a next button. The next button starts off with a timeline guide. This is a welcome message, and it's just going to say, hey, you're buying timeline guide. You can change it if you want, or just leave it the way it is. Now, I will tell you, I changed mine. This used to say the word, I think his name was Kevin or Brian or something. There's going to be some guy's name right there. Change it to your name. Don't leave it with the generic name that they put there. Change it. Now, I updated mine recently to say, our team will be providing insights in each step. And then I said, please note, due to COVID-19, Broward has instructed us to conduct all meetings virtually. I just added a note for the moment. I can change this anytime that I want to later. So if you want to add anything about COVID-19, or you want to change the text in some of these, because they're going to say things like, let's physically meet, let's physically go into a home, and you may not be able to do that right now. So think about that as you're doing these, and you can always come back later. There's another section to edit the guide later. Right now, we're just setting it up to be on the app. So I click the next button, and this is the way the step is written. Now, mine's gonna look different than yours because I added some extra things. I added the virtual buyer consultation, signed buyer brokerage agreement. I changed this already for mine where I customized mine. Yours is okay if you just leave it as the default. I would honestly leave it alone for right this second and just click the next button, and I'll show you how you can go in and edit this to be more custom. So this is just gonna be the guide, right? We're gonna start a search. I'm gonna help you get pre-approved. Now I'm gonna do a virtual buyer consultation, sign a buyer brokerage agreement, tour homes virtually, make an offer, your contract's executed, home inspection, home insurance, home warranty, and virtual close. It's my ability to kind of customize. When you buy a home with me, this is our journey. For now, I would just say leave it alone and click the next button. So step 1, I have a buyer's guide. So now I have to come to add a guide, and I add a second guide for sellers. So you do the same thing. You're going to click the next button. Same little congratulations, start the process. Now it's going to say someone else's name instead of yours. I changed it to say our team. You can just have it say Jay or whatever you need, and customize your message there. So this is what I have written. I think I only changed the name in this one. I didn't do anything about COVID in this example. And then this is my new virtual one that I customized myself. So I have this already typed out for you. We did this class earlier this month of a course on how to customize the buyer's and seller's guide. And actually next Monday, May 4th, I'm going to do a 30-minute class on how to customize this to include the virtual selling guide, to do all this COVID type of stuff in here. So you're able to customize this if you want. Most of yours is going to start with showing a home, review an offer, inspection, appraisal, and close. That's where your guys' start. I wanted to get the stuff before that in my guide and add it on my app. So I added things like social media strategy, Matterport 3D tours, professional photography, sign a listing agreement, and then our virtual selling consultation. So I was able to add those steps, and I would say don't do them here. There's a better way to add the steps later. So honestly, just click the next button. And just like that, I have a buyer's guide and a seller's guide. That's all you need. You can't add a third guide. It will tell you only 2 for now. Yet soon, you're going to have the option to create a third and a fourth and a fifth guide, because maybe my buyers are millennials and have a different guide than my baby boomers who might be empty nesters. Maybe I have a different guide for the first time selling or an investor selling, right? I can create custom guides for my clients in the future. For now, this is just a simple buyer's process and a seller's process. Click next, and that's actually it. Oh, sorry, this is the last one, a smart plan. Don't worry about the smart plan steps right now. Literally just flip the switch to green. That's all you have to do on this one. Is just flip it over so that it's green to promote your smart plan app because you're activating this smart plan. This smart plan is going to send one email day one, then it's going to wait a day and send a text message, and then wait 3 more days and send another text message, or tell you to send a text message. So that's a simple promote my app smart plan. Yes, Marina, I'll be sending out the class recording. So this will be recorded and I will send it out to everybody. Okay, so the last step is I click next and now I'm done. Your app is ready to go. It's live. So you click the X in the corner and now we've set up the website and we've set up the app. Now, before I finish this, I'll show you 2 extra things about the app and then I'll go into showing you what can your website and your app actually do, because I think that helps us with telling others to go to our website and use it. So remember we did the guide for buyers and sellers. This is where you can go now under consumer. There is a guide builder section. This is where you can edit the guide and add more steps if you want to. So if you want to see that, by the way, I already have a recording of it. If you don't want to wait till Monday and you want to work on it now, under jaycermak.com, I have all my live streams recorded, but under downloads, you will find the downloads that I had for my buyers and seller guides. So all those extra steps I added are already available here for you guys to go get those steps and the image that I use. And I have a PDF that you can download, which shows all of the text that I did to add to my custom buyers and sellers guide. And again, I'm going to teach that on Monday. So if you want to join us on Monday, I will teach you how to customize this. The last thing for the Sitemap settings, though, is under consumer and Sitemap settings was the URL. So now if your URL was blank before, you should have the app URL there. Now, the old codes had things like mine. I think the new ones now use your real estate KWID number. So if yours looks different, it doesn't have letters in it, don't panic. They're getting the links here. Now, if you just joined us like in the last 2 days, it's possible this isn't fully set up for you yet, so don't panic. I would say either reach out to support@kw.com, or if you're in Coral Springs, Aventura, or Fort Lauderdale, we use Scott Leroy to set up all your technology, and you can reach out to Scott Leroy's team, and they'll make sure to get your app set up, because I think it takes like a day or 2 once you've joined for this part to work. But everybody else, yours should be active and live to use the app. Okay, so we set up the website, we set up the app. Well, what the heck can the website do? Well, 2 things. The first is search. So some of the things you can search by, as you see in the description here, city, neighborhood, address, school district, and zip. What's different than Zillow, and I think the best way to showcase this, honestly, is I'm going to pull up Zillow side by side. Now, I'm not here to badmouth Zillow. I'm just showing you 2 different experiences. So this is our website. This is Zillow's website. Zillow also says address, neighborhood, city, or zip. But I'm going to challenge them on this. So let's say I'm looking in a neighborhood here in Fort Lauderdale that I live in called Imperial Point. Imperial Point. Notice it's going to, oh, I didn't spell it right. There we go. Under neighborhoods, I have the option to do Imperial Point or specific address. So if I look by Imperial Point, the neighborhood, this is the map from next door with all the homes for sale on the right. So your website has neighborhood maps, and notice all the other names nearby: Bay Colony Club, I've got Lake Estates, The Landings, High Ridge Estates, Boulevard Park. These are all neighborhood names. Watch what happens when you do the same thing on Zillow. I'm going to say Imperial Point. Now it's going to act like it has a neighborhood, but it doesn't. It will show a map, and here's my issue. This is not Imperial Point. This section is. So their map is wrong, and they don't tell me anything about other neighborhoods. You can't search by neighborhoods on Zillow. That's what makes your website 100% different than Zillow today. Now, I'm telling you this, don't go to your clients and say, we're better than Zillow, because it won't work. The clients are going to say, no, I love Zillow. It's amazing. Just say, I have a new way to search. Check it out and let me know what you think. That's the better script to use. So if I come here, okay, here's the actual neighborhood information. Here are the properties for sale. And notice that this is Bay Colony and Lake Estates, and it's on the other side of Federal Highway where they're trying to tell me it's a neighborhood when it's not. So Zillow doesn't have neighborhoods, and they don't have the ability for you to search for any other neighborhoods nearby. They only have the ability to show me everything in this neighborhood right now. So it's a totally different experience. The other thing that's different for us, landmarks. So let's say I'm looking to go to Ohio State Stadium. So Ohio State Stadium, I can now look by landmarks in anywhere in the world right now. Here's the landmark of Ohio State, and I can actually come to the map right now and switch this to satellite, and I can actually zoom in to Ohio State Stadium almost to the point that I can zoom in enough and see the seat numbers. And I believe if I turn off the digital map, when I zoom in here, I actually do see, where is it? Guess not. It's supposed to actually show me seat numbers. So this is our ability to search by landmark. You know what? Not going to happen on Zillow? Search by landmarks. Like I can type in something simple like the White House. Everyone knows what that is, right? I can search by the White House, and let's see if it takes me to the White House. No, it pulls up some random house. Huh. If I do the same thing on our website now and I say the White House, it can search by landmarks. So you now have the ability, there is the White House in Washington, D.C., and I can search by the actual White House. And if they're looking for a neighborhood nearby, well, here is the Park neighborhood. And here's other ones. And actually go search for neighborhoods nearby a landmark anywhere in the US. So how powerful is that? That's something that's different from your website than any other website in the world right now. Another thing that's different, I'm going to go back to my location. I'll come back to Imperial Point, and let's do a short side-by-side comparison of the properties really quick. Yeah, Imperial Point. Now, the reason I'm doing this is, let me see, let's just pull up this one here, because this is an address I can probably find on Zillow very easily. And I want you to see the difference amongst the actual financial part of this. So I can look for this property on Zillow. Hopefully you're understanding. I'm spending this time because I think it's that important to know that you can now do these things, and then you can teach your clients to do these things. So I'm going to go find this listing. Here it is. Okay, so here's the listing on our site. Here's the listing on Zillow's site. Now, they have some things that are neater, like some of this stuff. We're working on our site. It's going to get some updates soon. But you'll notice we have Keller Mortgage. I can save up to $5,300 on this home. Zillow is going to say, would you like to get pre-qualified? But no money saving, by the way. If I click this link, it takes me through a ridiculous bunch of questions to see about getting a mortgage from them. Yours will actually say, hey, save thousands, click here. And I can go save money through Keller Mortgage instantly, built into every website. Don't need the loan application, but here's the biggest difference. We save your client money. If you don't know about Keller Mortgage, I encourage you to go learn about it. So kellermortgage.com. We have saved consumers now over $122 million of savings. Now, I'm not here to say let's put your current mortgage person out of business, but that's something different on your website and app that nobody else in the world has right now. The ability to save money with a mortgage. So I can find the home on here by neighborhood, by landmark. I can actually apply for a mortgage all from inside this website. We've also got an option for Keller Covered, which is the ability to shop for home insurance. This can save your clients up to 30% on even home insurance companies they might be using today. So if you didn't know we had this product, this is another one to go learn about, to share with your clients, which means your website as it stands right now, every listing in America is on it today, and that website is going to show them details about the home and instantly tell them they could save money with a mortgage if they need it, and they could save money on home insurance if they need it. It's just something totally different. Now, there's tons of other things the website can do, but I wanted to also show you the app. So I'm going to stop sharing this really quick, and I'm going to do a new share, and I want to show you my phone. I'm going to pull up the app right now on my computer here. Okay, let me install this plugin real quick, just so you can at least also see the option of, there we go. So everybody should be seeing my app right now. And here is the KW app. So if you haven't explored the app yet, the app does the same thing the website does, meaning I can click here and say, hey, I am searching for, oh, hold on, let me get to the regular keyboard. There we go. So I'm going to do the same search I did on Zillow, Imperial Point neighborhood. There it is. And it's going to give me details about Imperial Point, the neighborhood that Zillow can't give you, by the way. Like, what can locals say about living here? By the way, what are your drive and commute times to the addresses you want to save, Mr. Consumer? To the nearby schools, places to go with Yelp integrated in. This doesn't even come close to Zillow's app. If I pull up Zillow's app side by side, I'm doing the same comparison, and I'm not the owner of this address. I'm going to type in the same search, Imperial Point, Florida. Again, the map is wrong, and they don't have any of these insights. So totally different experience. Imperial Point, the neighborhood, or Imperial Point, a random map that also includes properties like this, is not Imperial Point. So if you were looking to live in Imperial Point and you bought this home over here, you're going to be very disappointed. So the other part of that is also, if I click on a property like this one, so here's the listing details. I can click on the picture and get this experience to look at photos in real time, go through my photo slideshows of everything. But what I like about it is there is the Save Money on Keller Mortgage. Save up to $4,800 on your next home loan and save up to 30% on home insurance. It's built into the app, the same way it was built into the website. I can accept the terms here, skip the loan application, and guess what? It's all there, ready to go, granted to Moa, the agent, all from inside this app. So these are just some of the differences that we have. Your app also has some other cool features, like the ability at the bottom here. Let me get back to, there we go. At the bottom to have the feed. So these are the timelines that I'm working with. Remember those guides we were working on? Here's the guide built in. Start the search, get pre-approved, virtual buyer consultation, signed by a brokerage agreement. I'm literally guiding the consumer through this journey, and what they can do is actually check a box off when we've done something. Like, let's say we did the virtual selling. They have the option to hit mark as complete. They come back and guess what? It's checked off now. Now they know where they're at in the journey. So no more are they asking you, what's next? What do I do? That's built into this. I've got saved collections. And then under more, here is you branded with the ability also to share the app with others, which, by the way, is going to share the app with their friends and family, and that stays branded to you when they do that. They can add a co-buyer to this so that they can actually collaborate on collections together. They can save the properties that they need to in what we call a collection of homes that they're looking for and their own saved searches. You guys, there's no app like this on the planet right now. No one else's app comes close. The one I found closest to what we just did maybe is Trulia. Trulia has some of this stuff built into theirs, but it's still not a perfect experience. So that's the power of why you want to build this and get it into their hands. So I'm going to stop sharing there really quick, and I'll just end this by sharing my website one more time, because I forgot to show you my website version of what if I log into the website. So if I log into the website as a consumer and log in with my information, now I'm testing this as a consumer. So I will put in my information. Watch my website change. My website just changed to now say, find a home like you were, but now there's a feed button. So now in the feed, I can see, hey, Jay, don't forget we updated your selling timeline. My guides are built into the buying and selling guides are built into this website, just like they were in the app. All of the saved homes are here. So here's my saved searches and my collections. So everything I did on the app is now available to me on the website as well. I can go back and forth to either one of these and look at the stuff that I want. And all the pages for my agent is still here. And I am going in under my own account with my history. And I'm able to see everything that I did as the consumer. And you, if I come back to command, and I'll show you what just happened. So I should be seeing in command right now that Jay Cermak logged into his website and looked at properties online. So here I am, Jay Cermak. Oh, look, viewed today. Viewed a collection in Arizona. Here are the properties in my collection. Jay logged in. Jay completed the seller's virtual consultation. Here's the listing I looked at. You guys, no one in the world has this capability right now. Unless you are Zillow, you don't have this ability. That's what's so powerful about this. So hopefully you're excited to use these and do these things here, and actually be able to pull that in and show stuff in. Walk through covering. Okay. You got it, Abby. I'll send you other information there. Now, Shonda, when you say your app isn't branded, are you talking about actually on the app itself, it doesn't show your information?
When I put the URL into the search bar, it pulls up the Keller Williams app, but it doesn't have me on there like it does my other members.
Gotcha. What is your website? And I'll go check it out. How do you get the collection, the app you just presented? Oh, Monique, to get the collection, I had to create one. So the part about the app you guys may not have understood. Let me go back to sharing the app really quick, because I think this will explain something for you. So when I share the app again, I love doing this on a Zoom. Okay, so here is my app again. Technically, if I log out of this app, okay, this is what the app should look like the first time you use it. So I forgot to tell you this part. When you hit login, you don't have a login, guys. It's not an agent app. It's a consumer app. So there is no agent login on this app. The login for you is using command. So if you want to test this app out and you want it to be branded to you, you have to sign up for an account. And this is what the sign up screen looks like: a name, first name, last name, email address, and password. So do that. And then once you've done this, you'll be able to log in and sign up. And I will sign into my account. And when I log in, that's when I get to collections and saved things. And under the more button, it will show my information. Now, right now, it's not showing it. It's saying find an agent. That's a glitch that they're working on. But typically, once it is branded to me one time, here I am, get in touch with Jay, confirm. And they're using my app under the me button, and it says my name up here. When they hit the share app button, it copies the link. That link is going to take them to a website to download the app for me. So if you want to see the collections and the guides and learn how to save properties and use it as a consumer, sign up as a consumer so that you can then test it out properly. Awesome. So hopefully that helps answer that question. Okay, thank you, Shonda. I'm going to try it on mine really quick and see that, oops, it works for me. Oh, good Lord. I disabled my own copy capabilities, so I will type that in briefly. Okay, so it is. Oh, I know why. Shonda, it has to be all capital letters at the end. You can't use lowercase letters or it won't go to your website. So app.kw.com/capital K, capital W, to capital J, capital T, capital O, F, U, F. When I go to that version of the site, it will put the branding correctly. So that's a glitch that they're aware of.
Link. Did it work? Because when I tried it, it didn't.
Well, right now it just says generic KW. So you'd have to go into your command. So I'll hit the share screen again and show you here. Go back to the command and get it from consumer, Sitemap Settings, and then URLs. Because notice the URL should not be lowercase in mine.
Right. No, but I copied the link. Yeah.
So when you copy this link and you pasted it up above, because here's my version, notice mine has my name on it.
I know. That's
so you have to go through the Kelly guide again. Something's wrong with yours. So
okay.
It either didn't finish the guide all the way or skipped a step. And if it still doesn't, then you're gonna have to reach out to support at KW. Something's could be messed up with it, but I've been teaching this for a year now, and it's pretty good with my instructions. So if it's still not working, reach out to support and we'll get that, they'll be able to get that fixed for you. All right. Right now, Lakala, this is shown live in my Facebook page, which is Jay Cermak, Trainer Extraordinaire. So if you guys ever go to Facebook, you will find my business page of Jay Cermak, Trainer Extraordinaire, which is where we are live streaming to right this second. Awesome. All right. Well, we're done with the teaching part. So if you guys have more questions and things there, feel free to ask your questions. And I will just point out that next month, I am going to do just 30 minutes a week of training. So it won't be as much training as we did this month. I did a lot this month because I worked in 3 offices. So for next month, every Monday, I'm going to do basically a 30-minute command class. So Monday the 4th, we're going to do a 30-minute class on smart plans. Then the week after that, on the 11th, we're going to do a 30-minute class on Facebook ads. And then the Monday the 18th, we're going to do a 30-minute class on the buyer and seller guides. So those would be some other things there. And everything I've done is also recorded on jaycermak.com under live streams. So if you don't want to wait for the buyers and seller guides, you can look at all this recordings. And I want to say I did that. Here it is. I already have a 1-hour class on it. So if you want to get a head start and start making changes to your buyers and sellers guide, the content of the video is here. And the downloads that are available for everything I teach is under the downloads tab. So you will find there is the guides for the buyers and sellers guide, and any downloads and updates that I have for you guys will be on the download page here. Great question, Elka. Can I make changes to an existing page on my website? Yes, but there's a trick to it. You have to do it under designs. You can't edit a web page under consumer because it's not there anymore. It's under the designs page. So if I wanted to edit one of my web pages I made, I would come to designs. Let's say I wanted to edit my company profile page. I have to access it from designs. When I click on this, I'm going to have to click the configure widget button in the lower right-hand corner. So looking at my widgets here, this is a bad example of one. Let me go back and do a different one. So let's say I wanted to edit, I can go to agent site. Here's all the different web pages I've made. Maybe I wanted to edit my client testimonials. That's a good one. So if I made a page, I edit it through here, and you have to click, there will be a configure button. Oh, it's missing. Right? Well, that's what it's supposed to do. All right, well, it looks like they're having issues with the editing of the websites, but that's where it's supposed to be. The top of my app, it reads a different market center. It is changed from internal error. It does reflect the right market center when I scroll down my picture. I'm not sure about that. So if there's anything wrong on the app itself, I would contact support at KW. I'm not tech support for Keller Williams. I just give you the advice and the training materials I have. But yeah, if you reach out to support@kw.com, if something's wrong on the app, they'll be able to actually resolve that issue and look into it. But it should only show one market center. I have noticed an error though if you switch market centers, or if you're part of 2 market centers, like I'm part of 3. So sometimes the market center names might be off because of that. If you've ever transferred or moved between market centers, that can cause issues, and only support at KW can fix that. Keep my app in lower case. Gotcha, Amy. You know why it's doing that? When you did the social post, go to your settings for your marketing profile, and I bet you there it's all lowercase. So under the Connect Settings Marketing Profile, at the bottom of this page is where this link comes from for your smart plans, or sorry, the Facebook ads we did yesterday. This has to be in all caps. So I bet you on your account, Shonda, that's where it's actually, or sorry, Amy, that's where it's gonna be wrong. This is where those social media posts get the link from. So you gotta change it there. All right. Perfect. Yep, if you switch market centers, that's probably what it is, Lakala. So just email support at KW and let them know you're no longer with that market center so they can fix it and get that old stuff flushed out of the system. And then they'll be able to look at your account and guide you on what to do for that. Awesome. Any other questions? Got a lot of questions today.
Jay, quick question. I've
Yeah.
noticed that our websites now read Keller Williams Realty Miami Lakes on the upper left corner.
Yeah, that's not because of anything you did. So that's because that's where the listings we have are coming from. So they're fixing it. They're aware of that glitch. It's going to be fixed because it's not reflecting the correct market center. It's nothing you can fix. It's a KW issue, but the data is correct. That's just where the listings you're looking at on your website have gotten their data from that market center, and that's why it's stamping a market center name on it.
Okay.
So, yep, they're in the process of fixing that this week. Awesome. How can I search by adult communities? That's a great question because there are things we can't do. I want to say it's going to be under search characteristics for, let me hit share on Google Chrome and I'll show you. So if I go to my website, jaycermak.com, when you're searching for things, let me clear my search. And right here under this more button, we have the button to look by keywords. So I don't know if it's there. Let me see if I say 55 plus. Nope. But what if I try HOPA? Nope. I don't know that we have the option yet to search by properties that are 55 plus because that's not a field and it's not everywhere. I know in South Florida, we have more older homes or 55 plus communities and HOPA and stuff there. I would guess it would be a keyword, but I don't see the button yet for those 55. So what I would do is probably identify an area that has those homes in it. And then I would probably just draw a map and do it that way, knowing that that community is 55 plus if it is one. But they're working on adding more of those filters and features. All right. Christian, how do you find the commute times? You have to actually log into an account and save an address to get the commute time. So if I didn't log in, like if I click on this home right now, when I'm in here, it's going to show me inside of the listing itself a button for commute times. Now I'm logged in, so let me log out really quick. Log out. They have to sign up for an account to get the commute times is basically the answer. And then when they do that, they have to add an address under their personal account for it. So if I did a search again here and click on any listing, let's say it's this one, it's going to be blank for the commute times. It's going to say click here to get a commute time. And that's going to encourage them to register for an account. Right here, search for a place for commute times. When I click it, I have to register for an account to get it. So they have to register for an account if they want the ability to save the commute times. That's what I did. So under my personal account is where I added the addresses. So now when I log into that same address, oops. Can't type and talk at the same time. Blah, blah, blah. Come on. There we go. So now when I look at this and I'm logged in as me, the listing itself is now going to show commute times and the consumer gets to add their addresses there. So they're able to now search for the place, sign into the account, and then that's how they do it.
Right, but you mentioned also that when you put the office addresses, that's how they would know how far they are.
No. I did that as a consumer because I work at 3 offices. I added my addresses to see how far my office was. I did it as a consumer.
Okay, thanks.
You're not adding it for them. They're going to add their own addresses. And then, I just happened to put the 3 office addresses so I could see how far my commute would be.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Awesome. All right. Any other questions today? A lot of good content. Awesome. Well, if there are more questions and stuff, you guys know how to reach me. We'll have more live streams next week, and you guys can always find the stuff on YouTube and then jaycermak.com, and we will get this recording out later today. And I will send an email this week with the 3 recordings, and actually I'm going to send out an email with the whole month worth of classes that I did. So you'll have one email with all 13 hours of training that we've done for the month. So thank you guys for joining us, and hopefully you learned a lot. And we will see you and continue our journey with more training next month as well.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.